Being a minimalist is pretty cool overall, I think. The only problem is when you have family members that are closing off their apartments because they need a lot of a smaller space, and then you have a place like this where you have tons of space, tons of things, pictures on the walls, all kinds of little things lying around, also the furniture, tables, chairs, the sofas, the cushions, all of those things. But you're a minimalist, and being a minimalist, how do you actually take care of so much stuff? And I think one of the best options out there is probably to sell it. Then again, you need a lot of time for that process to actually be able to go through everything, take photos, write descriptions, do all that kind of stuff, so that you at the end come out with something that people actually want. And then you also have to be there. In my case, this time around, this is the apartment that I've been in a couple of times over the last year, and I've actually done a couple of videos here, for one of those being the 72-hour fast that I did. That was in this apartment, and it is an incredible memory to actually be able to spend time here, sit on that sofa, be here, and overall just experience it a couple of more times before it actually expires in terms of the lease, so that by the end of January 2020, we no longer will have access to this apartment. And being that it is my grandpa's apartment, it has basically been part of my life since I've been on this earth. And now, one of my duties or one of my tasks here is to go through everything and find the things that are memories, find the things that I want to keep using because they are actually valuable to me, find the other things that I may just end up taking a photo of, and also finding the things that might be valuable to others, either by selling them or donating some of that. I think it's a really important step to go through those things, find those memories that you may want to keep, either be it in keeping the thing itself or maybe just keeping a photo of it, but overall just keeping yourself as little as possible, however much that is possible. I also found with past experiences about my minimalism journey in terms of how I got rid of a lot of my things, it's oftentimes a step-by-step process where I might just take a couple of things out of my possession, and then a couple of months later, then I have another like cleansing ritual where I get rid of more stuff as I am constantly distancing myself off those things. Now, however, I have this huge apartment where there's so many things here that have to be taken care of. There's a storage above me which is full of gear for kind of like construction and just building things. There's tons of pictures on the wall, and you already see that there's a lot of it missing. We have a lot of things laid out on the floor here where there's a lot of shoes and stuff that I want to donate or sell. And then it continues on with our kitchen, which is completely messy at the moment because, again, deciding what is to sell, what is to own, what is to keep, what is to still use, because we are still staying here for a little bit of a time. So that's what I'm going through here at the moment. And then the last thing, and probably one of the hardest parts, is exactly the thing that's happening up there, which is going through a ton of the books that were purchased and put into this apartment in the shelves and storage areas, which is basically floor to ceiling, and just finding a way of what do you really want to do with that? Are there any valuable books? Can you do something with that? Nowadays, it's really hard to hold on to those things. It's like there was a value in it at some point. There were people that actually cared to buy something for not that cheap money, but instead they chose to spend their money in this paper with information on it. And nowadays we just have our phones, and it's no problem at all to look everything up. So it's really hard to kind of like advocate for keeping all of this. And granted, I don't ever have time to read it all. I know nobody who has. So this is the process that I'm currently going through here with everything in this apartment and figuring out where to take it, figuring out what to do with it, and maybe finding one or two treasures. That's the other thing, like not knowing what even is here. It's not like I have no clue what the people here put there, what my grandpa and his wife put here. So maybe there are some pieces that we are not aware of, and maybe there is something that we can find and use, or something valuable that we can sell. But knowing that is really, really hard. I'm wondering how you deal with this kind of situation. Are you yourself pretty minimalistic? Do you hoard things? Do you want to hold on to things that others are leaving behind? Or are you completely easygoing with letting go everything, no matter how valuable it may or may not be, because you may not know? For myself, I notice that it's really hard for me to let go of things that I don't know if they may have any value. If there's someone out there who is probably a collector, for example, I just don't know. And so I want to try my luck here. I want to take a lot of photos of things and just put them out there on eBay Kleinanzeigen, which in Germany is basically something like Craigslist, where you can put things and people can say if they're interested in it, and then they come by and look at it. So that's what I'm going to do here with a lot of things, to see if there's interest in those things. And once that's done, once we are out of this apartment, everything else just goes to waste, basically. And I'm trying to, before that happens, donate and sell as much as possible. So wish me luck. And again, let me know in your comments below what your thoughts are on these kind of things. How do you handle it when you have so many things that you can't really take into your own possession? How do you do that? I'd like to take photos, sell, and donate. Those are the ways to go. So with that said, I hope you're making it your life the last few days before the new year, and maybe you're clearing out your own space, not someone else's. That might be a really cool idea as well. So without further ado, ciao, ciao, and have an amazing day. Bye.